Hey, how you doing?
I'm getting sweaty and I don't like it.
A little warm?
Yeah, just a little. Well, today it's like awkwardly humid, but tomorrow and through Friday, I'm not even. I'm gonna find a dark hole to crawl into.
It's kind of warm, but it is what it is.
Yeah, well, if I seem grumpy and upset for the next few market updates, you know exactly why. Summer is my least favorite season of the year. So. All right, I'm over it. I'm done talking about my least favorite thing. Let's move into a Canva marketing class. I don't know if people are trying to pump up our egos or not, but we have been asked a few times to do a Canva marketing class. How do you do this? How do you do that? So we're finally going to do it Tuesday, July 9th, 11:30 a.m. Lunch will be provided. Please RSVP so that we can account for how many mouths we need to feed. Please bring your laptop. And obviously, we're going to show you some basics and cool features that come into the program, but I want you to come with your imagination and think, well, how can I do this? And then I'll show you how to do it. There are a lot of hidden features that come into Canva. You might never find them unless you have the imagination to ask. So definitely come to that. It'll be very informative.
Absolutely. And also, we are providing for the real estate community advertising on Main Street, free advertising on Main Street. You'll want to make your presentations in portrait mode. You can see what the requirements are right there. We'll have you email it to Naor because he's the one that is orchestrating this. But again, for realtors, real estate companies, title companies, if you'd like on the TV screen in our window your advertisement, we'd be happy to do so.
Yep. And I think right now our count is up to 80 something slides. So we have at least 70 listings on there, and then a title company and a couple other small things, but it's picking up. So go ahead and send them in.
Right. And remember, they're not our listings, they're your listings.
Yep, 100%. Your name, face, everything is on there. You send it, we put it on, that's all it is. So
Yep.
Buying versus renting, Dale. The conversation's coming back up a little bit because interest rates have come back up, and I think if I'm saying this correctly, people are just fed up with high interest rates and higher prices, and they're getting back to the agreement that maybe renting is good. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think having a place to live is good. Okay, but that being said, yes, rates are higher than they've been in a very, very long time. We're all hoping they go down a little bit, but I'm looking at this slide and I'm saying to myself, if you're waiting for rates to go from 7.5 to 6.5, you're going to save about $3,500 a year. That being said, the value of the home is going to go up more than $3,500 a year. So, rates stink, but invest in real estate. It's a good time.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the key, because the truth is, on the monthly side of things right now, the obvious answer is monthly mortgage is more expensive if you compare apples to apples. And it makes sense. Yep. The whole point of renting is to be a little bit less. But if I were to show you this was a stock, and we brought this chart up last week too. If I showed you this and said it was a stock, and this was the track record of a stock, this would be a phenomenal investment. Huge investment. So we get into the question of buying versus renting. It's like, okay, well, what if we do buy a $400,000 home loan? The principal and interest payment around Amador County is going to be about $3,265, and then for an equivalent house, we're looking at $2,800 a month. And on the monthly side of things, but let's actually do a calculation. Let's figure this out for real and put this all to bed. Is it better to buy versus rent? And we have this comparison tool that's absolutely available for all realtors, anyone who wants to see this. We can change the scenarios and we can make it however you want. But let's go through this and see here in Jackson, California, whether or not buying versus renting is worthwhile. And let's do this with a $400,000 house. Keep the apples to apples. And here we can see right off the bat, we got a net gain of 140. We're going to fiddle with this. Don't think that we're just showing a beautiful screen and then we're going to run away and not give you the details. Take a look at this appreciation gain. That's huge. $214,000 appreciation gain, and that's forecasted at 4.89%. So if after 9 years, that $400,000 house is going to be worth $614,000. And don't forget, over the course of 9 years, you're paying down your mortgage. So that's where your amortization gain comes in. And if we look at the cash flow difference between how much your monthly mortgage is versus what you would pay in rent, you can see even with that cash flow difference of negative $70,000, you are up $140,000. That's a pretty good investment, don't you think, Dale?
I think that is wonderful. Now, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Can you change the appreciation rate from 4.89 to say 3, which has been the average for many, many years?
It's definitely been the low average for many, many years. So yeah, let's definitely do it. And you know what? I'll do you one better. Right now we have our property. We know Amador County's tax rate is 1%-ish, and we know home insurance is going to be about $250 a month. Okay, we'll leave the monthly repairs alone. The property tax increase 6%. That's fine. We'll leave that. Hit save. Ooh, we had a big drop, but we're still in the green. Here's the problem though. Our rent is way too low in this specific scenario. If you want to rent a $400,000 house at $2,200, you are lucky. So let's go back up to a fair market rent, and let's just get rid of renter's insurance. We don't care about that. And as you can see here, this is also a really conservative estimate. The national rent renewal is at 4.5% average. We're going to keep it at the conservative 3%. And now you can see we're back in the green by $95,000. But wait, I'm going to do you one better, Dale. We're assuming a down payment. At Homestead, we do down payment assistance. There are some people who just don't have that investment to get to a house. So let's do a 100% financing home. And we're going to say closing costs are maybe $15,000. And we're going to say perhaps that they're going to put a point down onto the rate as well. Hit save. We're still in the green by $52,000. It doesn't matter how we slice it. It's still a great investment.
So, looking at this chart, that makes sense because there is an initial investment the first couple years, closing costs, things like that. And so I get the red. But after some time, with appreciation, with paying the mortgage down, you're going to get something out of it. And I know someone's going to say, but you're negative for 5 years. Well, if you only rent for 5 years, guess what you have at the end of those 5 years in equity in the home?
Yep.
Zero. Nothing.
Exactly. Zero. And whatever you spent on rent is actually down. Now, I want to do this the realistic way. This is, in my head, worst case scenario. Take a look at these terms. $400,000 down payment assistance at 7.5%. That is way higher than where we are right now. Dale, take a look at this. This is our down payment assistance interest rate chart. We're at 6.875 or 6.75. If you went FHA, you're at 6.625. So we're way overestimating things. So let's go back. We're at 6.875 on a conventional down payment assistance. We'll save that. Look at that. We're up 70 grand. And then on top of this, we're going to take a look and let's just use the historical appreciation here. Okay. The 3% is on the far bottom of the appreciation. That is a huge difference.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it really is. It really is.
Yeah. So again, we would be more than happy to give you guys an example of this. You can fiddle around with this for days. You can put whatever scenario you want. You can increase the purchase price, decrease it, the loan, however you want to do it, and you'll see. But the last thing I want to point out before we get off of this, folks, this is a chart of only up to 9 years. We don't want to go further than that because we never really know what's in the future, but 9 years is fairly safe investment. This only gets better and better and better and better and better further along you go. That's why my parents, who bought a $400,000 house on a meager income, are now sitting on a house worth $1.2 million, and they haven't changed a thing in their lives. They just bought 20 years ago.
It is amazing, and home buying, it's a great investment. It's if you're on the fence, really consider that you need to move forward.
Yeah, and if you can afford it, there really isn't a question. Let's wrap it up.
Okay.
Credit Education Seminar is going to be Tuesday, June 4th, 5 o'clock p.m., online, in person. If you want the best interest rate possible, your credit's going to be the best way to do it in any market condition. So come on down, learn more about how to get your credit up.
And then don't forget the first time home buyer seminar, which is June 18th, the third Tuesday of the month, 5 o'clock at Homestead at the office, downtown Jackson.
Well, Dale, thank you so much. I appreciate your help, and look
Thank
forward to
you.
seeing you on the next one.
Have a great time.
All right, bye.
Bye.